Well, let me be very frank with you, Deputy MacDonald. This morning, I think it was 28 items that were on the cabinet agenda. The government dealt with all of those and approved amongst that the provision of 1,000 to 1,500 jobs on the South Kilkenny Waterford border, with an impact on rural Ireland for significant employment when the milk quotas are abolished. Strategic and important planning in there. So the answer to your question is that the Cabinet began the discussion on the heads of the bill to deal with the issue that you mentioned. And because of time constraints, including being here, it hasn't been possible to conclude that. The Cabinet will resume its work on this matter shortly, well, after a little while, and I would hope that the heads of the bill can be published this evening. I do hope also that you understand that this is not the legislation, that the heads of the bill will go to the Oireachtas Committee, where everybody will have the opportunity to have their full say on this sensitive matter, and that work on the provision of the bill will continue both in parallel and following the deliberations of the Cabinet Subcommittee. It would be my intention and hope that it could be enacted before the House rises for the summer period. Might I say to you also, Deputy MacDonald, as I said to you previously, this is a sensitive matter that's been around for a very long time. The intention of the government is to deal with this within the parameters of the Constitution and strictly within the law. No new rights are being conferred here, but legal clarity and certainty will be given. This is about saving the lives of women and their unborn babies with due regard to what the Constitution actually says and what was determined by the Supreme Court. So the work on the matter will continue later on this evening.
Thank you. Deputy MacDonald.
Taoiseach, I imagine from your response that of the 28 items on the agenda that the issue of legislation must have been at number 28, or perhaps under any other business. I have to say to you, the tone of your response, I don't appreciate. You know as well as I do that there is an urgency in respect of bringing forward this heads of bill. All the more reason, because it's not the finished legislation, all the more reason for the Oireachtas to see it, for it to proceed to committee without delay, and for the process of a full and frank debate to get underway. I have a worry, and I know it's shared by very many other people, that in fact what's happening at your cabinet meetings is a form of posturing, not least from your own political party.
Thank you. Question,
I understand fully, Taoiseach, that the legislation, when it comes before the House, will be simply to legislate for that. To legislate, Deputy Shatter, to legislate for that which is already lawful.
Question.
We're 21 years on. And really, any sort of delay at this stage cannot in any way be justified. And I note, coming from your own benches, particularly over the last week, there's been a lot of very intemperate and inaccurate rhetoric.
Thank you, Deputy.
I hope that you've faced that down. And Taoiseach, I hope that we will see the heads of bill this evening, as you have committed here. And can you now, when you get to your feet again, just make clear that it is still your intention to have this legislation through the houses of the Oireachtas and on the statute books by the end of July?
Taoiseach.
To your last question is yes, it is my intention. I'd remind you, Deputy MacDonald, that it's actually 30 years, 1983, since the amendment was first introduced. As you say, 21 years on from the last occasion where the people were engaged here, this matter hasn't been dealt with. So what government intent here is to deal with the issue within the parameters of the Constitution, within the law, taking into account the sensitivities that are obvious in this matter, which is quite complex and very technical, but it is about saving lives, the lives of women and their unborn babies. and it really behoves you to come in here after all these years and play politics with the lives of women again in question time.